Hi everybody and welcome to Fab Tax. I'm Rosemary and this is my Extreme Patio Makeover Reveal featuring DIYs from the Dollar Tree, Trash to Treasure, and the like. Now, I know what you must be thinking. Really? Is this your house? Wow. Seriously girl, we love you and all, but maybe a little less crafting and a little more housekeeping. This house looks like it was hit by a hurricane. But the thing you should know is, well, it was. And it was a big one too. Harvey was the size of the Gulf of Mexico itself and was a Category 4 at landfall. And old Harvey, he didn't just hit it and quit it. Oh no. Old Harvey, he liked us so much here in Southeast Texas that he hung around for days and days. And when it was all done, over 60 inches of rain had fallen and huge portions of Southeast Texas were underwater. And the streets had become rivers. But you're saying, hey, I clicked on this video for a patio makeover, not a history of catastrophic weather events or their devastating aftermath. At most, I thought there'd be maybe some pollen to remove from the patio table and grill, and maybe a little power washing, and then throw in a planter or two and call it a day. And I was planning exactly that type of video. However, in light of the current events, I thought it might be helpful to share the full story of this patio makeover. But if you're like, nah, just give me the power washing and the plants, you can skip to the timestamp posted here. But if you do want to hear the full story of this makeover, a story of love and loss, hope and faith, grit and determination, overcoming, tribute, and ultimately rebirth, keep watching. This story actually begins with our family's move from Pennsylvania to Texas, because not only did we leave behind all of our family and friends, but also a home that we spent the previous 5 years renovating. Here we are at the beginning stages of the renovation, when both our house and our family were under construction. That's me with my husband Eric, daughter Nicole, and son Matt, and our third child Mark, by the looks of things, was about a month or two away. Along with designing the plans for the renovation, Eric also did much of the finish work, including building his pride and joy, this beautiful wraparound deck. Although we were blessed with a beautiful home in Texas, one downside is that our only outdoor finish space was a small cement-covered patio. But almost immediately, my husband set out to create plans for the new outdoor space, including extending the patio to the left with some decking, which we'll get to in a future video, and then wrap the patio in decking to tie the two together. Next, he wanted to close off the end with some built-in cabinets and create a little minibar-like kitchen. And he was eager to get that tool belt back on and dust off those power tools once we were settled and had saved enough money. But sadly, my beautiful, funny, and smart mountain of a man with a heart of gold never got the chance. In October 2010, he was diagnosed with cancer, and he passed in November the following year. Afterward, it became very important to me to do things Eric had planned, as a way to memorialize and pay tribute, and somehow maybe even live for him. But as I didn't have the skills to do the patio and deck plans, and certainly couldn't pay anyone to do it, that dream would have to wait. But to honor him, I did want to decorate the space that we did have, and was in the middle of this project before Harvey hit. And actually, this is footage taken the night before the storm. When the storm finally stopped, things did not look good. In fact, they were pretty catastrophic. But when your family's life is on the line, it really puts things in perspective. Things are just things. Things can be replaced. Ironically, and by divine intervention, I had picked up this sign the day before the storm, and it was one of the first things I saw when we could return to our home. But as bad as it was, it really didn't matter. What did was the thousands in boats rescuing people, the churches setting up shelters, and my wonderful friend Michelle and her beautiful family who got us, including our pets, from the shelter and took us in. It was my old neighbor Ben who showed up with 5 of his friends, and my friend Derek who got his entire scout team to help, and my son's robotics team who did so much for us in the following weeks, and my beautiful niece Michelle who set up a GoFundMe, and all of the family and friends who contributed. We will be forever grateful. And we could use all the help we could get, because not unlike Clorox wipes in a pandemic, when the impact is so vast, things like cleanup services and contractors become almost mythical, and you're not really even sure if they ever existed at all. And to find a good general contractor, well, let's just say your odds are probably better of spotting a unicorn. So I decided I would become my own general contractor. Well, at least for our project. In addition to saving a boatload of money, I also got to know the subcontractors directly and became good friends with several of them. And do you know what I did with that savings and with those connections? You got it. I finally got to build that deck and patio. First came the patio door, which Daryl, my window and door contractor and friend, replaced. Next came the patio floor. This I did myself with Tough Shield patio paint by Benjamin Moore in saddle brown. It was super easy to do. I just rolled it on like I was painting a wall, and it took me only about an hour to do. Then I found these prefab cabinets at Lowe's. In addition to being exactly 92 inches wide, which would fit exactly into the space, they were also 25% off. And then my son and I, air quotes, installed them by simply sliding them into place. And here you can see the back view and how they were a perfect fit. Next, Daryl built a side cabinet for the grill items. And then Rudy, my kitchen contractor and friend, installed the countertops, which were salvaged from the original kitchen, while Daryl installed the backsplash. Which now brings us up to today with the pollen removal, power wash, throw in a few plants timestamp. But we saw enough mess for one video. Heck, we saw enough for one lifetime. So we can just go straight ahead to the clean bits and see how it's standing up now about 2 years after the original install. And here you can also see the floor covering holding up really well after 2 years. I was afraid that this would get like kind of chipped and scuffed. I wasn't too sure about how this would work out in the long run, but it really held up nicely. Now this area is mostly covered with rug, but even on the parts where we are walking, it really has held up very well. And now I'm going to start decorating with the Dollar Tree and Trash to Treasure DIYs, and I'm going to do this section by section, and since we spent so much time here, this is a good place to start. And I will provide a breakdown for each item by video as to where you can find the original DIY. But we can start here with the little straw hat planter. This was made from an old straw hat, and above that is the Life Isn't About Waiting for the Storm to Pass wall hanging with the rain gauge vase. And here we have the Dollar Tree faux copper watering can, and then an herb planter made from a Snuggles pod container. And then here is another herb garden made from some tin cans. And then this is another Dollar Tree DIY made from a planter and some Dollar Tree potato mashers. And then here in the corner is a lantern also made out of Dollar Tree materials. And this light up wall hanging is made from some repurposed canvases and some sticks from the garden. Now, as we move into the next section, I wanted to show you the area rug. I did purchase this a couple of years ago at Big Lots, and it again has also held up very well. And I wanted to get it because I wanted to warm up the space as well as kind of tie all these colors. There's kind of a lot of crazy colors going on there, and I was hoping to tie those all together. And here's my table. This table is from IKEA. And I really love this table, not only because it's nice and narrow, but also because it has 2 leaf extensions, so it gives you a lot of versatility. And then the chairs I purchased from World Market, and I did get these at the end of season. These are also a couple of years old, and you can also see how well everything's holding up. But those were at about 75% off when I purchased them, so you can get some really great bargains at the end of the year. And here you can see how nice and narrow this table is. I believe it's called Apolaro. I'm not exactly sure if that's how you pronounce it, but this is just a great table. And you can see the 2 extensions there, so it gives you all that versatility and function for whatever you might need. And now we see the table decorated with the Dollar Tree and Trash to Treasure items. In the center is the centerpiece made with the paint sticks and Dollar Tree beads. And then the napkins are actually from Walmart. They were 2 for $1.99. And then the napkin rings are what were made in the DIY using Dollar Tree twine and Dollar Tree shower curtain rings. And here is a potting table that you may recognize from the before shots. This was actually under construction when Harvey hit. It was originally purchased at Sam's Club, and I have since stained it. And here it is decorated with some more Dollar Tree DIYs, including the plate holder, 3-tiered tray, cake stand, and lemonade sign. Down below, I have some firewood, as well as a couple of lanterns that I picked up on 90% off at CVS a few. And here again, you can see all of the decor items, most of which were made from Dollar Tree DIYs. And then you may also recognize these rockers from the before portion of the video. And, just a fresh coat of paint, cleaned them up a little bit, added a nice pillow from Walmart, and they were good to go. Between the chairs, I have the basket planter / table that is from the previous DIYs. And inside the basket, I do have a thing of the Dollar Tree nautical rope because a viewer had suggested maybe weaving that through in order to create some cover for what you have inside the basket. And I thought that was just such an excellent idea. I just didn't have the time to actually do that, but I think that is a really great idea, and if you were looking for some cover, that would be a great option. And then next to the rocking chairs is the patio door, and on it is a sweet little rose wreath. Now this wreath was made with Dollar Tree roses and, believe it or not, toilet paper tubes. And above that we have our sign that was salvaged from the storm, reminding us of the most important things. And then to the side of the door, I have a fern on that plant stand that was made in the previous DIYs, as well as the little tub on legs that were once iced tea bottles, and filled with pretty little summer flowers. And then I just wanted to give you a candle lit view. So here, starting with the little table, I have a little candle on there, and then there are several candles here on the potting bench, just lighting up the area, making for a nice ambiance. And then I wanted to show you what the centerpiece looks like, all lit up with the little candles. And then also to the back, we'll see the lighted stick canvas, as well as some of the other little candles just placed about. And again, it just gives a really nice ambiance to the space. And as I previously mentioned, links to all the DIYs will be provided in the description box below. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this patio makeover and part 1 of the makeover series. Don't forget, there are more makeovers to come, including part 2, which will be a porch makeover and also a collaboration with Teresa from Our Green Acres, and then part 3, which will be a deck makeover, and you're not going to want to miss those, so please check back and check those out. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you then.